This is The Agenda with Georgia Tolley.
On Dubai Eye 103.8, the UAE's number one talk radio station.
Hello there, welcome back to The Agenda. Right, we are discussing chocolate on the programme today. As of course, we are fast approaching both Easter and Eid, both religious festivals, when we traditionally gift sweet treats. And it has emerged that chocolate in particular is going to cost more this year. And that is in part because of the soaring price of cocoa. Now, it's all because of global warming. Apparently, it's causing poor growing conditions. And that means that the price of cocoa beans is now more than 3 times what it cost back in March 2020. That means prices hovering around a record $10,000 per tonne. So what's the impact on our local chocolatiers? Is that the phrase? Is that how you say it? Chocolateries? Chocolatiers? Are they facing a price rise? Well, we wanted to get a local angle on it. And so earlier I spoke to Iman Sugatan, who is creative head at the Dubai-based company Co Chocolat. And I asked her if her prices are going up.
Honestly, no. And it might come as a surprise to your listeners, but this is because we are not taking our cacao from sources that probably 50 to 70% of the world is taking from, which is in West Africa. We are sourcing our cacao from our very own agri-social enterprise, and we are taking it from the Philippines. So, the Philippines is not known as a bulk producer, but more of a fine flavor, small batch cacao producing country. So we have always been paying a bit more. Not just a bit, but we have been paying more than what our counterparts have been paying over the years. So for us, we are taking from the same sources and we find no shortage of cacao, at least in the Philippines.
Is that partly because you haven't seen climate changes in the Philippines? You haven't seen shortages of beans actually being grown?
We have seen the effects of climate change. I was just telling some people, because we do factory tours in our factory, and we are telling them that before we used to harvest cacao as early as late November, December. This is when the high peak of harvest happens. But nowadays, it's already December and you're still really waiting for that high peak to happen. It's already moved over the years. So we are affected. However, because we are relatively a country whose cacao production is, you can say it's ramping up because people are more knowledgeable of fine flavor cacao production. The production is becoming better, actually, at least for us in the Philippines. I'm not going to say it's anywhere as big as what countries in West Africa are producing. And I believe that Filipino farmers and Filipino chocolate makers are not interested in that either. We just want to stick with small batch direct trade with our farmers producing nice single origin chocolates.
Tell me why, when you started your company, you decided to choose chocolate from the Philippines, knowing that that would make you a very premium brand because the cacao is a lot more expensive from the Philippines.
We did that because we saw the dire situation of farmers. When we went for the cacao production training, it was an eye-opener for us. One of our classmates, he was the one who was telling us, I am going to marginalize the area. I'm learning now because I want to relay whatever knowledge I will gain so that they will reach a target of 100 dirhams per family income for a month. And for us, when we heard that, we were like, 100 dirhams, we blow that in a meal for one person. And that changed things for us. We thought, why look far and wide? And we wanted to create something healthy, something premium, something delicious. So start with a good base, start with a good cacao source. And we thought, why not the Philippines? Why not empower our farmers at the same time that we are creating our healthy chocolates?
And you say that your chocolate is healthy. And I have to say, as someone who is constantly keeping an eye on her weight, that sounds very appealing to me. Why is your chocolate healthier?
It actually started because of my diabetic mom. It's been consciously ingrained in us to ensure that in what we eat, there's less refined sugar. Cacao is a superfood and chocolates can be a superfood, It has so many benefits. And this is what we are trying to promote. No palm oil, use of fruits, nuts, superfoods, putting it into chocolates, creating functional chocolates. And you'll find it hard to see something like that in the market.
So as people are shopping for Easter gifts and for Eid gifts, have you brought out a special range for this season? Do you bring out sort of different types of chocolates each year?
Yes, we do. We do. And especially for Eid, we have created flavors which reflect the traditions, the culture, the Arabic culture, the Muslim culture. And this involves kahwa. This involves taking in flavors like baklava. And we also have the Palestinian zatar. They're normally not included in chocolates, but we have done that, to give it a very Eid flavor.
What type of price differential are we looking at for a bar of your premium Filipino farmer friendly chocolate compared to a normal bar of chocolate?
If we compare it with, let's say, another bean to bar chocolate brand, we would be 32 dirhams. And I'm just basing it on what others are selling. There's another bean to bar chocolate maker here in the UAE, and they're selling at 35. But then if you look at the grocery shops, it's bulk chocolate and they're not actually fine flavor. I'm not sure if they're fair trade. You're looking at something like 15, 18 dirhams.
And if people buy chocolate from you, what is the promise you make them when it comes to your relationship with your farmers?
The promise is that for sure, we know from whom we take our cacao. We know that there is no slavery, and that's why we have a logo of no slavery on our chocolates, because they do come from ethical sources. And it makes that bite, even that sip or drink of our hot chocolate, much sweeter because it does empower farmers back in our homeland, the Philippines.
Iman Sugatan, their creative head at the Dubai-based company Co Chocolat, bringing us to an end of our half hour on how you can ensure that your Easter and Eid celebrations are fair trade and supportive to the farmers who are growing cocoa in both the Philippines and elsewhere in the country.